welcome to the Gangcast, aka the Games and Not Games podcast. I'm Jan Garcia, and joining me as always is Isaiah Smith.
Hello.
How are you today?
I'm holding it down.
Holding on.
Yeah, I'm holding
for
on.
Dear life.
We're going, we're moving, we're grooving. It's been a minute since we recorded, just because we had a bunch of travel and everything, and just summer has gotten in the way. But I think it'll be good to be back.
Yeah, we had a trip to Buffalo for a wedding of like a week or so ago, and then when we came back, it was like, what if we didn't record?
Yeah.
And then we just didn't. And it worked. I think we were also
then you had
like
another trip, and then you weren't feeling well. And
yeah,
there was a lot of things kind of.
I came back like the day before we would be recording, and I'm like, kind of tired. I think I also genuinely wanted to play more Slay the Spire during the time instead. And I was like, oh, what if we just take off? And then we're back here now. Which since then is when I beat Slay the Spire.
Yeah. So I guess real quick Slay the Spire recap.
Yeah, let's roll into games and do a little Slay the Spire chat before we talk about Donkey Kong. Ooh, banana. Because Slay the Spire. The hour's got to be wild now, too, because I've been playing a bunch the last 2 days trying to break through. Slay the Spire recap. To get in front of it, too, I don't want to... There's very, very little to spoil in a game like Slay the Spire. But I know the game's like 6 years old. I got to enjoy it without spoilers. We will not be spoiling Slay the Spire, some of the things that go on in there. But I will be alluding to some additional challenges that do exist. So I guess if that's already too much, a couple minutes ahead, and then we'll be good. But... yes, I finally slayed the Spire, kind of, right? Like when you win the game, they're like,
credits.
they say victory ? And I said, you could have just said victory and left it at that. But yeah, I've beaten the game with, at first, who's the poison boy?
The Silent.
The Silent.
Yeah.
Then I beat it with Ironclad, who's like big sword boy, basically.
Yeah.
Then I beat it with the Defect, who I have been calling Orby.
Yeah.
I have not beat it with the fourth character, who I won't name because they're actually. Don't you unlock the third character too? Like you don't know that you unlock that pretty
the second.
instantly.
You unlock everyone.
Yeah. No, the fourth one it does take longer. I don't know what it's gated behind.
Sure.
There's a fourth character that I won't name that I have not beaten the game with yet, but I also haven't tried that hard to do it. Like I played them 2-3 times. So that's been cool. And what I'm currently working on now is trying to like get what I presume to maybe be like the true ending kind of thing. It's like an additional thing that exists. Like when you beat the game, or when you like, I think it is only when you beat the game, something like lights up. Like whatever the character you like beat it as, it's like, ooh, there's like something with like keys and like you can open up something. So I'm working on that, and it has been a thorn in my side. I feel like I've fallen off, like all the skill that I feel like I gained. There's a point in this game where I'm like, yeah, I'm really good at Slay the Spire now. Like I'm really smart. I'm really good. And now that I need to do this extra challenge, which is inherently more challenging than the base game, I'm like, I don't know. No, they're not giving me the right cards. They're not giving me Corpse Explosion when I need it. They keep making me face Mr. I Come Back to Life over and over again. The one time I finally faced the Shape Twins.
Yeah.
Last night without Corpse Explosion, of course. So obviously I died.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know. It's been a little bit frustrating. Still really enjoying the game, but yes, I have mastered Slay the Spire. The thing that saved me is Kato over on Remap Radio said, "How often are you getting rid of cards?" And I said, "Never."
Yeah. And
I said, also, I'm picking up every card they give me. So my hand would be like 45 cards deep, which has like some benefits. Like you can definitely still like make a lot of progress.
Builds that lend towards that.
Yeah, I wasn't using those though. I just had a chonky hand, but I would regularly get to like Act 3, even like the final boss, and just not be able to do it. And then literally 2 or 3 runs after learning that you need to be like culling your deck. Boom, succeeded. And then like floodgates open. Suddenly I'm like, oh my God, I'm so good. I'm so smart. Everything's great. Shocked that I was able to do it with the Defect, because he has a very, I don't know why I gender them. They're just like figures, but like, and this one's a robot, so I don't even think they have a gender. But my boy Orby has what I feel like is a much more complicated like mechanic of like having these orbs, and then like the orbs can activate and they like circle around him, and it's like this whole thing. But I was able to do that one, and I was very impressed with myself that I was able to succeed with Orby, because Orby's complicated. Yeah. So how has it been for you outside looking in to my illness?
It's been wild, because I think, like you said, calling it opening the floodgate is like really what happened, because it was like, oh, you finally beat it with the silent, and then boom, 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 you like beat it 2 more times after that really quick. This makes me, honestly, seeing you play Slay the Spire and seeing you, how into it you are and everything like that, makes me excited for you to try Monster Train, because given what you're trying to do,
art card game.
Given what you're trying to do in Slay the Spire, where you like kind of do everything the game like kind of offers you, right? I think Monster Train lends itself to that same thing, like that same goal you can set for yourself, but it's more interesting. Just because of the like just mechanical structure of Monster Train. I think it's a little bit more enticing. There's more to do, but also just different. I'm not gonna say
should
worse
I
or
start
better
with
or
Monster
whatever.
Train 1, or should I go straight to 2?
I have not played 2 yet. I say you should start with 1 though, just because I already got it.
Yeah.
I'll start 2. And that way we could both play at the same. Well, I guess we could always just buy the game multiple times or whatever. But like we already have Monster Train on Steam, and we share Steam libraries, whatever. So like you could just start with that today. You know, no asterisks, no nothing. Whenever you are done with Slay the Spire, whenever you feel like you just want a new challenge.
Also, you know what's sick?
Monster Train's
I kind of
there
want
waiting
to.
for you.
So what I want to do is I want to, at minimum, I want to figure out what's going on with this weird chest thing. Like open that up, finish that thing off. Then I want to beat it with the 4th character. And I'll try out the Ascension again, like very light spoiler. It's basically I don't know anything about it because I haven't actually booted it up, but people just say it's like the game but harder, basically.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like Balatro, like where it's like, oh, like you start runs, but like with like different challenges kind of like established or set up.
You can go fight God or something. I'm not really sure what's in there.
Yeah, it's like, oh,
I'll dip into that.
Yeah.
I don't feel the need to be able to like. I don't feel the need, and I know I don't have the skill to like be able to do that. Like I just know I don't. So that's fine. I'll just dip into that because that's like, it's almost like in my mind like hard mode, and I never feel the need to be there's probably no games that I've ever played in hard mode. This is something I've been wanting to do as a gamer, just to like experience it. But like I don't know, I don't find that too appealing, nor do I like usually have the skill, and nor do I want to gain the skill. Well, like I do want to gain the skill of like finishing off like the next challenge that Slay the Spire has. I want to gain the skill of learning the 4th character. I don't really want to do all this other stuff. I also probably want to unlock everything with all the characters. Like over time, you like unlock more. I think they're just cards, right? Yeah. So I think I'd probably want to finish that off potentially. I don't need to, but like it'd be nice. It'd be nice to have. And I definitely want to dip into like those daily runs if you want to join me for those. Because it's like, 1 run a day. That's not too bad. Because right now I'm doing like, I don't know, I'm booting that game up like 9 different times. It is going faster though, because I'm taking more risk. The way like the challenge is, you kind of have to like, if you fail, like there's a good chance you'll fail earlier. Like you'll just burn out on like trying to like do all the stuff that you have to do. So it makes my runs shorter. Like I'm no longer every single time. Like there was an era where every single time I'd get to like Act 3 at least. Yeah. So like I'd be playing for like 90 minutes, died, try it again, playing for 90 minutes, died. Yeah, but it's been good overall. And you already know what I mean, I have a lot of stuff I want to get done today and need to get done today that will benefit my life and my career. But what I want to do is just keep playing Slay the Spire so I can beat it again in another way, which I have to emphasize, people that already know my content know this already about me, but I am very much a credits roll, eye roll.
Yeah.
History says that I would have beaten Slay the Spire and said, great, I beat Slay the Spire. Yeah. But this game is so good that I'm like, of course I want to, like, more chances to beat it. More ways to like play. Like the characters play very differently.
It's also wild to put in perspective how this is like, again, like the second thing in a row where you're coming in at like one of the greatest there's ever been, right? Like you came in, really got into your anime era with Frieren, which I still argue is like one of the best shows, the best animes like ever. It's so good. It's so versatile. Anyone can kind of come in. There's something for everyone. It's great. No notes. And then to follow that up, you're coming into the whole roguelike deck builder with Slay the Spire. That's like a top 10 game, arguably top 10 game of all time. Like, it's so good that like it I feel like it spurred the genre, and like you're coming in with that, and then you gotta like follow that up with other stuff. It's like, man, this is just this is rough.
And then the other deck builder I played,
it's like playing Astrobot as your first platform.
The other deck builder I played too is arguably another like greatest of all time, which is like Balatro. I know Balatro just came out a year ago, so maybe people don't want to like give that to Balatro yet, but I feel like even if you don't like Balatro, which you never really got that into Balatro.
I mean, I think Balatro's great. It's no Slay the Spire, but it is not. The gap is not that huge.
I do like Slay the Spire way more than Balatro. I also just think they're very different games, which is usually what you say when one is worse.
Yeah, but I mean this in a way that it's not that case.
Yeah, no, but I kind of mean that for Balatro, where it's like, I also wonder if now that even though they are very different games, now that I've mastered to a degree Slay the Spire, I wonder if I will have more success now with Balatro, because I think a lot of my the things that plagued me in Slay the Spire are probably also like holding me back on Balatro.
Sure.
And Balatro's great, don't get me wrong. It was like my second of last year, behind Astrobot. Maybe it was my third. I think it was my top two. But yeah, I forgot where I was going with that point. But Slay the Spire was really cool. Excited for that. I think I'd rather try more stuff than go back to like kick ass in Balatro is what I was trying to say. Just because, like there's more to see in Balatro and it'd be fun. But like, I think I'm more curious because I think the thing with Balatro too is it's not like Slay the Spire is like a combat deck builder, and even though like you're beating the blinds, like there's still, you're trying to get to a number, which is very different than like having
reduce a number.
Or like like I don't know, they just play very differently. And like Balatro leans so much into like breaking the game, while like Slay the Spire is more about being good at the game. Like I know that there are like expert people that can break, like someone in my comments on TikTok said, do not look up the fourth character like pro strats on YouTube.
Oh, yeah, sure.
It will ruin your life. And I miss my wife and kids. That's what they wrote. That's what they wrote in the comment. So, and like knowing the gimmick of the fourth character and having seen it in kind of other games, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm sure there's a way that you can like break this. But yeah, anyway, that's been Slay the Spire. I'm very excited too to eventually do the board game, but I know we really have to like, honestly, I feel like, I don't know. We can talk about this more later with Gloomhaven. I think it may be asking for too much for us to beat all of Gloomhaven. Gloomhaven is very long. I wonder if we should almost have eras of Gloomhaven where it's like, hey, this month we're gonna like beat these, and then because I feel like it's stopping us from playing other board games. I
think it's more we just need to commit. We need to lock in and just get through Gloomhaven. That's the issue.
And I like Gloomhaven a lot, but also like Gloomhaven,
it is a bit of a time commitment.
And there's been pain points of like, not to put you on blast, but like you get very blue when you lose, and we're hitting some really hard scenarios.
Yeah, because it's so much setup, and then you do all of that, and you lose at the end. Oh, it sucks. Yeah, no, I get blue. I'll own that.
Yeah, like, and it kind of ruins the game for you a little bit. So I don't know. We do need to figure that out. Again, my joke of after our wedding, instead of, and I know we're just kind of doing like, oh, we're gonna hang out and like have the week off, and like to some degree we're going to spend time together and relax, like whether we're doing that at a hotel in LA, whether we're going to San Diego, like whether we're staying here, like it doesn't matter. That's like the goal. But I also think, what if we use this time?
We got to get through some of these
what if we relax
scenarios,
by playing like 8 Gloomhaven scenarios together, now that it's like no one can email me, everyone's like congratulations, and I'm like, I'm trying to get through Gloomhaven.
Yeah, I have this squishy heart that I'm trying to fight.
Yeah, maybe that's what's stopping us not being married. The game knows that we're not really committed to
Slagathor.
Yeah, Slagathor and Tatiana have been living in sin. Yeah. Anyway, fun stuff. Yeah, stay tuned for the eventual Monster Train cast.
Oh, I can't wait.
What we need to do is do that on a train. That's what I want to do.
That'd be great. I think, just last thing, I think that Slay the Spire, if I had to choose, I would say is definitely better in quotes than Monster Train. But I think I had more fun playing Monster Train.
Yeah, I could see that.
From a mechanical mix and match kind of sense.
Because also, like, what's funny about Slay the Spire and like the challenge that I've now hit with this like extra challenge of the game, I'm like, I want to win. I'm tired of like dying. So
Fair.
like if Monster Train lets me maybe like roll through things a little easier,
I
I
think
ain't gonna
so.
be mad at it because I've gotten my ass whooped. I've been getting my ass whooped in Slay the Spire lately.
Yeah. I think Monster Train is a little bit easier. At least like I've definitely won more in Monster Train than I have in Slay the Spire.
Yeah.
I can tell you that for sure.
Yeah, and like we'll see. I will have to probably make a decision on like, do I give up on trying to finish this last thing and Slay the Spire? I don't want to. So like I'm far away from giving up.
You could dip your toe in, see if it pulls you away.
I'm far away from giving up right now because I could see myself not like maxing out all the characters, like getting all this stuff. Or maybe even like maybe I don't beat the game with the 4th character. I do feel like the 3 are like the OG 3 and the 4. It almost feels like you have your starter Pokemon and then it's like, oh, Pikachu. Like the 4th, even though the 4th one isn't the face of the game. The face of the game is actually, I think, the Ironclad. Maybe the Silent. I think the Silent's on the cover, right? Like who's on the cover of the game? It's funny. I played this game for 1 million hours and I don't know who's on the cover.
Actually, both Ironclad and Silent are on the cover.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. Okay.
That's really good.
Yeah, I definitely think. Yeah, they're for that reason they're like the face of it. Yeah. Cool. So like I do feel like that 4th one's kind of like we just having fun now. Like you ain't really part of the game like that. So I might peace out at that point because I am playing a lot and I swear I feel like I've put 10 hours in this weekend like alone and I want to put in more. My incentive to finish everything else I have to do is that I get to play more Slay the Spire.
It's a good incentive.
All right, and that brings us to Banana. Donkey Kong Bonanza came out. That was another fake reason that we didn't record. I was like, well, if we wait, we have more time to play Bonanza and talk about it.
I did play more. And
I did play more as well. I am at this point now I'm probably 14, 15-ish hours into the game. Though we are at the exact same spot in the game and you have put, I think, way less hours into it.
Sure.
Unfortunately, I don't think it shows your stats yet on your Switch.
No, not yet.
So we'll have to wait on that. But yeah, tell me about Bonanza. What's the setup? And then what are your top level thoughts?
Man, Bonanza. So Donkey Kong Bonanza is the...
Sorry, the cat was doing something. I was yelling at the cat.
Yeah. Real, second real console exclusive for the Switch 2, right? It's kind of the I would say... probably less broad appeal than Mario Kart World, but I think the bigger sort of breakthrough must buy kind of game for the Switch. It's open world, open level platformer, open zone kind of 3D platformer where you play as Donkey Kong. You're smashing the ground, you're breaking down walls, the world you're in is for the most part pretty indestructible. You can kind of like, dig holes and find caves and go up mountains and do all kinds of stuff. And the whole idea is that like you're finding these bananas similar to a Mario Odyssey finding moons, right? Like there's bananas hidden in them, all over the world, and there's little challenge rooms you can go into to earn, unlock bananas and things like that. And you use these bananas to then upgrade your skills and make it easier to go forward and things like that. There's something you mentioned the other day that I guess I never thought about, but you're right in that it's contrary to Mario Odyssey. There's not, or even like Astrobot and things like that. There's not any requirement to collect these bananas to progress. Like you can just. I'm very curious what the speed run is for this game.
It's 90 minutes at this point.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Like you don't have to collect any bananas because none of the bananas give you new abilities. They only make the abilities you have and the things you can do better. Or like last longer or do whatever. Right.
I guess on a very technical level, like the spin jump move is locked behind the skill tree.
I guess that's true.
But none of them are. You do not need them to progress.
Yes. None of these are like progression abilities. No. Those you do get just from playing the game. You'll come across things that you just unlock in allow you to progress. So I think it's actually really interesting in that way. And I think that for that reason is why I'm where you're at, but just in so much less time, is that I just did not spend as much time finding all the bananas, doing the challenge rooms that I think you did. Yeah,
I have moved away from being more exploratory in this game, and I'm now just kind of like, sure, if there's like a banana right in front of me, I'll go get it. But like in the challenge rooms, if I see them, cool, I'll go inside them. but I'm not going to try to like comb the area. I'm hitting the scan way less now. I maxed out that scan as quickly as possible, and then it was a game of look through the level and hit scan and dig and hit scan, and it was like I burned out on that really quick. Yeah, we are, for context, we just finished, what world was that?
I just hit the 800 level.
That doesn't mean anything to me. And I think that doesn't mean it. That's something else. So
I'm on the beach world. Like the beach level.
We just started the beach
I just
level.
started the beach level.
Yeah, so then so did I. And I did that on my stream. So I'm like, 15 or so hours in for me. But yeah, I guess then we should get into our top level thoughts. I am not that enamored by this game. I think it is a good game. Like, it is a good video game. But like, I don't personally, I know for a lot of people, the like the freedom of it, they're like, you're so free, like you're just tearing through the world and like, wow. And I'm like, that don't really mean anything to me. I do not care about that. I don't think that's that interesting.
Sure.
I think it's interesting for like a couple seconds, and it's obviously technologically, like, shout out to that. That was really cool tech. That must have been really hard to implement. Wow, it's crazy that you made this. But that, just because it's impressive doesn't make it interesting to me. And I don't find that gameplay to be that interesting. The thing that really draws me in a 3D platformer, or really like any game that sort of has this construction, again, you don't need to collect anything, but the collection is kind of, it's in the game, right? And to me, collectibles are meant to be a way to incentivize engaging with the things that make the game interesting. You know, you go to a spot and it's like, oh, I bet there's something here. And then there is. And it's, to me, when I'm grabbing collectibles, it's me having a conversation with the designer in the moment of play. And I think that's really exciting and fun. And I feel like a lot of DK Bananza is not that interesting of a conversation. It's like, banana in cave. And I'm like, and they kind of try to like give them these cute names to like show what they are. But like, so many times the names feel like this is the first thought we had. Because a lot of times it's not that interesting. Like, I've very rarely found, in the challenge rooms, I think those are really interesting and they feel very like meticulously made and well hidden. And I like all of that. But when I'm in the general world, it's like underground secret. And it's like, okay, I punched through like a lump of dirt and there was a banana in there.
Buried treasure.
The way that I feel about this game, like, and talking about it, has helped me kind of like solidify some of these early feelings again. Maybe things will progress, and I think we can get into in a little bit the things that are really cool in the world. I think the level that you and I just did, which what is it? What was was it a beach biome? Was it ice? Was it lava?
There's a branching path where ice is
it's
in
a
one
forest.
and
It's a forest
the
area.
Is the other,
it's a forest area. Yes. Okay. I think that area was like much stronger in design than the earlier areas.
No, for sure.
But yeah, ultimately, it does feel like a lot of fluff. And I know apologists will say, well, you don't have to get all of that. It doesn't all need to be good. But I feel like if the stuff in your game should be good and interesting. And if it's not, I don't think it needs to be in there. I feel like the way I feel about this game and the bananas, it feels like when parents make an Easter egg hunt, but it's for like toddlers, and they're like, well, if we don't put enough eggs in here, there's gonna be tantrums left and right. We need to make sure these kids are finding these eggs. And that's how I feel. I feel like I feel like the amount of bananas, fossils, everything, I feel like it's a little patronizingly designed. It's like, we know that we need to like be dangling keys in front of you every 2 seconds, so we're gonna do that. And don't you like these keys? And I'm like, not really. Like, I liked interesting level design, and I feel like you really want to make sure that I leave with a lot of Easter eggs in this metaphor. But how are you feeling? A handful of hours into Bananza.
Going into Donkey, literally from the announcement trailer, which we live streamed on the show. I was not sold. I did not think that Donkey Kong was the guy to lead a console launch. I unfortunately still feel that way. I agree with you. I think this is like a good game, maybe even a great game. Like, if you are really into Donkey Kong and you just like to smash terrain, boy, do I have a game for you. There's so much you can just do in this game, but none of it is like to a level that I am excited to do it. it's like, oh, I'm curious to see what's going on here. And like every once in a while I'm surprised, like, oh, like every once in a while I'm pleasantly surprised at how fun or challenging or exciting a segment is.
Yeah.
That is not the default state, which I feel like for a platformer from Nintendo, my default state should be constantly enamored by what's going on. Like, which I know is a big ask, right? And it is arguably unfair to put that kind of pressure on Nintendo for their games and things like that. But like, yeah, like I think in a world where Odyssey came out, where, you know, PlayStation came out with Nintendo or Astrobot, you know, the a year ago, whatever. It's like, oh yeah, no, like that. I expect that from Nintendo. Like this is their bag. This is what they've been doing for decades. Like they should be the king, the go-to sort of textbook example of how to do this. And I don't know if it's, again, the team. I don't know if it's the IP. Again, I'm not a big Donkey Kong fan, right? You know,
you kind of hate Donkey Kong.
Because I think Donkey Kong Country, like the side scrolly ones, like I think those were fun at a time. And arguably, funnily enough, those levels in Donkey Kong Bonanza to me are the best levels.
They're so good.
Which is not a good look.
Well, I'm like, and this is why, like, I feel like my take makes me feel, and by extension your take, because we have similar takes on this. Yeah. It's like we have the old head takes. Like,
oh yeah,
these kids just want to smash terrain. What happened to this woke level? Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, like once I made the joke that like, oh yeah, no, every face that Donkey Kong makes in this game is like a YouTuber thumbnail reaction video face. And then just kind of like how you said, they're constantly dangling keys in front of you or giving you like these things to collect and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh yeah, this is just a game that's just not meant for me. Like this is a game meant for either, you know, the person who just kind of wants to get in, check some boxes, you know, like make progress towards a thing. The person who just really loves Donkey Kong, or the person with just a really short attention span and they just like benefit from just kind of going back to that first thing of just like being able to jump in, do some cool stuff, smash a building, break a wall down, find a cave, get a banana. Okay, cool. I got my few minutes of time. Let me do that there. Or again, someone who just like loves Donkey Kong and just wants to be Donkey Kong and smash things, and that's fun.
I think there are some smart design decisions though, like made in this game. I think the amount of terrain that you can climb and the fact that you don't have a stamina meter is very smart and like fits in line with like the kind of world that they made. Do you disagree? You seem like you kind of...
No, I think that given that what the game is, it would be, I think, go against the ethos if they gave you like a stamina bar and stuff. So yeah, I guess I agree.
You feel like it was obvious to choose, but like you still have to, you know, every choice is still made. So
yes.
But I think I think I bring this up to say that there are elements of the design that I think work well together, but there are also elements of the design that I don't think work well together. I think the way the challenge rooms, and even just like to a degree digging, when I'm done doing something in this game, my head is on a swivel. I don't know where I am. I don't know what's going on.
So hard to
there is the visual identity of this game is muddy as hell. I think it's very interesting because they have names for spots. Like I'm looking at the, I've been referring back to the IGN walkthrough, and I'm sure many walkthroughs could do this job as well, of like trying to remind myself, like, what was this area? What was it? Beaky Thicket, sublayer 600. None of that means anything to me.
Yeah.
And like when I'm playing this game, I'm like locked in on playing this game. Like I'm not, you know, picking up my phone. I'm not taking breaks. When I sat down, I was like playing this through. When I streamed it, I was obviously, you know, I'm talking in chat and stuff. I will say it's a very easy stream game because you don't need to be thinking at all.
No, not at all.
You just kind of move and you figure it out. But yeah, like there's no identity in these like go to the Eggshell Hotel. It's like I do remember there being like the hotel with the ostriches in there, but like it didn't feel like I arrived in a place. Like when I was, and again, it does make me sound old but the thing is this genre isn't that popular, so a lot of this stuff is older. When I'm finding the gondola in Delfino Plaza in Super Mario Sunshine, that was a place. You know, like the fact that I could not, and I think one of the things that like makes Donkey Kong Bonanza so muddy as a space, as a world to exist in, is how often like what they do in this game is you have like, you go to a layer and they're like, you're visiting a new layer. They do a big like kind of interactive cutscene, kind of like Astrobot flying to the world, and you fly to like a new layer, And the implication is like that's kind of like a new world, right? And it is. Structurally it is. Like it's like they kind of have a biome thing of like, oh, at first it's like the beachy water thing, and then it's like the lava, and then it's the ice. But within that layer, there's a lower layer, like sub-layers.
Yeah.
And sometimes the sub-layer is the same biome, like it's like more forest, but sometimes it's like totally different.
Yeah.
And then you go back to the neck, you go deeper, and it's the same one we just were at, and it makes it like have no fucking memory at all. I don't know what's going on. I think the fact that in this game they have like an ice world, and so they have a lava world, right? And then you finish that, and then you go to the ice world. And when I got to the ice world, I said, this is where they're going to cook. Ice things in platformers are always so fun. You have this struggle of like, oh my God, you're slipping on the ice. They do a fun thing in this game where this game is so based on transformations, and like you get a transformation. You know, I think we're early enough that we can talk about the transformations because they were in the main trailer, but there's a zebra transformation where you can like run on the ice and it's like you don't slip. It's like, oh, that's like, oh, cool. Like, yeah, all good with that. Then in that ice world, when you go deeper in the layer, it's lava again. Why the fuck is it lava again when we were just in the lava world? Bro, that pissed me off so bad. But curious your thoughts on the general kind of construction of the areas and things like that.
I feel like the level design does not lend itself well to feeling like you're in a space. And by that I mean like when you Mario 64, right? You see Peach's castle, when you're running around there and everything, like, oh, I get a sense that I am in the grounds of Peach's castle. I can always look and see Peach's castle. I can orientate myself with where I am based on Peach's castle. In the real world, if you go to like a Disneyland or something like that, it's like, okay, there's these like big pillar structures that generally are always visible to give you a sense of space and where you are in this space, in this area, and like orientate yourself. Donkey Kong Bananza has none of that in any level. Even the level, like the eggshell hotel or whatever, it's like, that is a big eggshell on this level. And it is, but it's not, the game does not lend itself to make it visible enough so that you can orientate yourself in the level based on where you are in relation.
When you see it, it does look cool and like really pretty. And the way you go through the stained glass window. But then even when you're there, also like, and you can say this is true a lot of platformers because it is, but it's one of those things where like, you know, when I have this saying that I've heard where it's like, once one thing goes wrong, you start to only see the wrong.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's kind of like, I will admit, but this is just like human nature. It's like I have a lot of criticism of this game. It makes it very easy for me to see all the like, because then I started to think, why isn't this game clicking with me? And when I try to come up with a list of reasons, she's not short.
No.
And one of them is that like, this game, so much of the design too, when they try to create challenge within the open environment, leans on liquid.
Yeah.
The frozen water, the lava, the poison.
Yeah.
And I also noticed something I clocked as well. Part of this world, this foresty world, you have to like lower the poison, the water. I'm like, we did this 10 seconds ago with the first area where we were lowering the water, raising the water. And I'm like, so you don't have any, and what was wild about that too, that I clocked was like, I do think the best worlds off the top of my head in this game so far were the first world where it's like a seaside bay kind of vibe and this foresty world. That's like my feeling on it. In both those worlds, you are like interacting with like something to raise or lower liquid level. And I think I even said this on stream. I said they only know how to design around this one idea. Like this is the only time they can make a decent world when we're raising or lowering. And I'm sure there will be other worlds that will pop that aren't doing those things. Like if I'm a betting man, I would say, again, these are talented designers. This, like I can acknowledge that. Like I acknowledge that if this game was made up by like a no-name team, I'd be like, there's some interesting stuff here. You guys, but if this was a new team, I would say like they have good ideas, but they're not there yet. Yeah. So I do think that's particularly disappointing because they're very established, very known. And I feel like it's not there. Maybe it is just like a different ethos of design, but I don't know. I push back on a lot of people will say like, well, this is the new like design trope. Astrobot was very physics oriented too. I'm like, yeah, but Astrobot was the areas were so bespoke. Yeah. And I do think Astrobot has its flaws too. I've been very vocal about the fact that I think Astrobot struggles to find an identity. Those enemies aren't that memorable. I think, okay, you can make a lot of good levels, but you can't make a cohesive experience. You have not made Mario 64. And I think that's more what I'd, and then when you try doing more open area, you guys kind of struggle with it. They talked about that at their GDC talk. I think that team has things to improve on. It's why I personally wouldn't give Astrobot a 10, because I think it's got space to grow, I think. Not that like a 10 means it's perfect, but I just think there's like ways that like I don't get masterpiece from like Astrobot personally, but I do get a really fantastic game. But yeah, that's kind of where I've landed on this too, where it does feel very muddy, I think is how I'd characterize my time with Donkey Kong Bonanza. And that's not just because there's a lot of mud in some of the areas to slow you down on walking around.
Yeah. And to the game's credit, right? I mean, I like you said, there's a long list of gripes that I can have with this game. To be more on the positive side of the things that we enjoyed about the game, I do think that given the sort of lane they decided to be in, they do lean into that in a good way. Like their whole thing is about like smashing terrain, right? And I do think that the whole idea of smashing things, they handle that well. They give you these like meters to see how much of each like material you've smashed, and like there are some people who give you rewards for smashing, a certain amount of what is it, like square meters of whatever materia, and like the challenges are also really cool. There's like the the teardown kind of challenge room where it's just like destroy this building in a certain amount of time and do this, and like I think that given that smashing is like the language of this game, I do think they do a lot of cool things with that.
Yeah. I think similarly, it's, a hater could say this is just like a convenient double dip, but I think, again, those are the challenges of making a game. And I think they work around those challenges well with the, one of the main enemies is like the skeleton guy, and the fact that he can just wear different terrain.
Yeah.
And that kind of switches him up. Again, like a hater could say like, you just want to make a new person. But I think it makes sense for like this idea of these creatures existing within the earth, and they shield themselves with like the biome that they're in. I think that fits, and it feels like it makes sense. I think another thing that I think is cool about this game from a visual standpoint is how much they decorate the areas with like stuff with the animals.
Yeah.
Like in the forest area, that's like where the ostriches are, and they have like platforms that have like the earth is shaped to look like an ostrich neck and head.
Yeah.
In the like hotel, I forgot if it's like there's like a chandelier that's like designed to, I think where the candles are, they're like shaped like ostrich heads. I think those things are really cool.
Yeah.
And I think every now and then, to your point about like there being those surprising moments, like I think the game everyone else is seeing is definitely in here, but there's also a game that I see that I feel like no one else sees but me, you, and like 8 other people.
Yeah.
Because I do see the good in it, but I also see a lot of other stuff, and I guess like other people are like, I don't care, I don't feel that way about it, right? But something like positive that I've seen in this is like the fun little surprise moments, like you mentioned. They have like an apple, an onion or something that grows out, and you can like throw it and make paths.
Yeah, that was really cool.
And honestly, there are times where I'm like, I want you to do more with this. Like, I do feel like when they have good ideas, sometimes they don't explore them for long enough, which is the other reason that I think this ends up feeling like not as distinctive as it could be, because I don't think they sit in their own ideas long enough to, get all the juice out of it. Yeah. And I think another one that I wanted to shout out that was my favorite of the game so far was, I'm trying to find what they're called or where the area is. There's like these bounce pad ice block things, like I don't really know what they're
it's in the forest area as well.
It's called like the section is like bounced into rubbery roost or something. I don't know, I'm just trying to go based on the IGN guide to give some sense of place. That stuff was cool, it was surprising, it was interesting, and I think to your point with the terrain, that's an area of a level that feels like it's very aware and maxing out the mechanic of smashing and the use of terrain. They have the ice pillars that move on that like you slip off of, but you can also smash through those as well. So you could spend time breaking them to make it easier. It's also when they have like the ostrich transformation, which lets you like glide and fly and things. I think those are moments where I'm like standing, I'm clapping. I'm like, thank you for giving me something to like play with in an intentional way. Where it's like, it's not just like DIY fun of just like breaking through stuff. It's like I'm engaging with like the stuff you designed around, and I'm using the mechanics in a way that's like free form, but also a little bit intentional. Like, I think that moment has been like my favorite part of the game so far, because I really had to like be engaged looking. And it also has like a cool thing with that is they have like the void material. So you have to find where to break it. So you're like looking around, you're like taking in your environment and you're making thoughtful choices. And I know that sounds kind of silly to some people, because like I think 3D platformer gets it gets this very like casual, like you're just having fun, like Lulu, I don't have any thoughts, I'm spinning, I'm jumping as Mario, and you are doing that stuff, but that you can have the freedom to have fun because someone else spent a lot of time orchestrating your fun.
Yeah.
And in Donkey Kong Bonanza, I don't feel like my fun is orchestrated for me enough. And I know some people will say that makes me like a, crotchety bitch, and I don't care. Like that's why I feel like that's what separates like games from other things. Like it's like this conversation with the designer, and a lot of the conversations that I have with this designer, I find kind of unstimulating. It's like, okay, I guess if I'm here and we're like, seated together, I don't hate him, but I'm not enjoying the conversation a lot of times, except for some of these like pockets of times. But you seem locked into to beating it. Where does that come from? To
be honest, it is based on me just not having anything else to play. I think the game is good. It is.
You seem like you were enjoying it more as you went. When you first picked it up, you seemed very displeased.
Because, and I stand by this, I don't think it actually feels good. It's like as a platformer, like jumping does not feel good. It is a platformer where the verb is smash, not jump.
Yes.
And I think that
a really well put way
is like telling for how good the jumping and moving around feels. You know what I mean? Like the best way to get from A to B is to smash your way there, not jump your way there.
Yeah.
So it doesn't feel good to maneuver around these worlds, but it is good enough that this is a good like secondary action for me. Like we talked now, I'm like listening to like this audiobook, and it's like put on the audiobook and then play Donkey Kong Bonanza is the perfect combination, because it's like, cool, my mind can focus on this audiobook and my hands can just smash bananas. Yeah, I can smash. And it's like, all right, great, cool. That's like good enough for what the game is. I don't think I'm missing anything, because this story is also kind of non-existent in a sense. Like there is a story here, right? I can only barely tell you what it is, and it doesn't make a really good incentive for me to care.
Yeah.
Paulina's fine as like a character, and the Grumpy Kong and the Science Kong, Cranky Kong, whatever.
Grumpy Kong.
Oh no, I think Grumpy Kong's the villain one. Like the first, he's part of the Void.
Does he have a name?
I think it was Grumpy Kong, right? It doesn't matter. See,
I don't think so.
Exactly my point.
Oh, there is a Grumpy Kong, but he's not either of those people. He's this guy. Hold on, This guy's Grumpy Kong.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
He's the
villain.
He is.
Works with.
You're right. So there is a Grumpy Kong.
Yeah, exactly. See, it doesn't matter. None of this matters. It's not the point of playing the game. And so I can turn my brain off from all this stuff and just collect some bananas and keep going, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I will probably finish this game unless something else comes out that I literally want to spend any more time with.
You have my permission to blow past me too. I know you're just automatically going to play faster than me. And frankly, again, I'm still kind of working to Slay the Spire. So I kind of have been working on that a lot. I do plan to finish this game. I know people might be like, well, why finish it? You already know. Okay. I do think I've played enough to like have a pretty solidly formed opinion on the game. The number one reason that I'm going to finish this game is because, and I've been burned before and I'm ready to get burned again. Some people have told me, oh my God, those last like 3 layers though, they're really good. People have said like the ending of this game, this is what people have said. I'm not saying it's true. People have said the ending of this game is one of the best video game endings ever. Which granted, how many good video game endings are there? But
what else did they play? I want to know.
I don't know. And like, again, all those people like this game a lot more than me. So by just doing some janky napkin math, I'm guessing I am not going to leave saying, wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But I might. I don't think it's going to elevate my whole opinion of the game. Sure. But like, there have been a few rare instances where like, I forgot what I was playing, where I was like, okay, this kind of made it worth it. But it has happened a little bit. So I'm like, okay, well, let me just see it because, and you could say like, this is me being like stubborn or kind of like a negative thing. But I don't want to get to end of the year conversations and people are saying, well, I wish you knew how good this part was.
Yeah.
You don't. I want to at least be able to say, yeah, you know what? It was really good. Or you know what? It was good, but it wasn't that good. Like, I want to be able to join in on the conversation. Like, the same way, like, on a non-negative way, like, I really like Tears of the Kingdom. Didn't beat it because, like, the game's like a cajillion hours and I was busy. And I just was, I don't know. I just didn't. I don't think it means I don't like it. I dragged ass on Breath of the Wild 2. As well, not Breath of the Wild 2, which is Tears of the Kingdom. But like we had some end of the year conversations for like min-max and stuff, and people being like, oh, well, like, oh, but the ending of the game, or like, was this thing? And I can't participate because I like didn't play it. So Donkey Kong is short enough that I'm like, okay, let me see how things are going. And I do feel better in that like I did enjoy the last world a lot more than I've enjoyed the previous parts of the game. So it's like, okay, well, maybe like I can have like a decent time with this now that I'm sort of like, hey, I'm not going to get as many bananas I've been getting before. I'm just going to like, let's just kind of a light beeline stroll through the game and see how it feels by the end of that. Because I do think, again, I was very like, I did enjoy those bounce pads a lot. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe you have some more bounce pads in you, you know? We can throw together. Can you be good for one of these worlds? I feel like the answer is going to be yes. So I think there's some hope there. But
here's a question. And obviously different games, right? Everything like that. Over under, is Donkey Kong Bonanza over under Split Fiction so far? If we're just talking like
under.
Okay.
Which is crazy because Split Fiction has a Donkey Kong level in it. But definitely under. I think definitely Split Fiction. I think people are. I don't know if I praise it as highly as everybody else, but I'm pretty high on it because it was a really great game.
Yeah.
Really great design. Again, the story I think was pretty bad. I still think that Hazelight seems to be struggling with that. Yeah. Well, I really like it in A Way Out.
Oh, okay.
I think A Way Out story, like I love that story. It is one of my favorite like game stories that isn't in a story game. And I think that was like the perfect blend of like the story really felt like it also interacted with the gameplay in a way that I think Split Fiction tries to do. And sometimes they succeed. Like there are some like really incredible like bosses and side areas that are like really like meaningful and creative. This is definitely below Split Fiction for me for sure. But I think for me, the last couple hours of Donkey Kong Bonanza, when I first started playing this game, I said, there's no way in hell this game makes my top 10. And now I'm like, what's number 10 and 9? Why couldn't it be Bonanza? Maybe it could be. So it's elevated there, at least for me. But in terms of bottom top 10, that seems like a good spot for like a Mario Kart World as well. So I don't know if I don't know if it's going to clear. I might leave them both hanging because, there's still a lot of great games coming out this year. And it's been a really strong year for games for me. And I think by extension, kind of us. Yeah. Claire Obscure hanging out there as I think that's my game of the year at this point. I still really love some indie titles too. Like Keep Driving is still very high on my top 10, I think. I haven't sat and really thought about the order, but I really love that game a lot.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
So there's a lot of very strong experiences from this year. That's also going to make it harder for Bonanza to break through for my personal list. But obviously it's very high for a lot of people. So, and to that I say, enjoy your time. Ooh, banana. To that I say, ooh, banana. And an ooh, banana to you. All right. And now for the not game section, we are talking about cooking. Let her cook, as they would say. Shout out to Glorilla. But we're going to be talking about cooking. So I want to kick things off with, what is your history with cooking? We're going to kind of talk about who are we as chefs today, and then what's our like kind of just background on that. So when did you learn how to cook? When do you feel like you first cooked for like I'm cooking as part of staying alive and not just like I thought it'd be nice to make like mom pancakes today kind of thing?
That's a really interesting question because I feel like similar to you guys growing up. I was actually not similar to you guys. I was more like the Edwin kind of growing up, where Amos was around. I have my older brother Amos was around, and he was there. He's in and out, blah blah blah. But like for the most part, I was the one at home chilling. I was a good kid,
So you
home,
weren't, like,
play
going-
games, doing this, doing that, right? Well, I just mean like I was home, like
Yeah.
as a kid.
Yeah.
And oftentimes, I would say once you hit like middle school for sure, you're kind of like not fending for yourself, but like it would be nothing for me to make my own, ramen noodles or something if I got hungry. Put a sandwich together, make some chicken fingers or something like that. Like that was a very like normal occurrence by like middle school.
Mm-hmm.
And then it probably wasn't until like late high school / college where it's like, oh, let me like look up, like, let me do a recipe. Like, let me actually try to make something like more intricate than just warming up food and putting it on a plate.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I would say like late high school, early college is when I started cooking. The rest was just kind of like I was
Putting
fending.
stuff together.
Yeah.
Preparing.
Preparing is a really good way to put it.
I'm in kind of a similar boat, a little bit less self-guided. Again, my family had all these like extra sort of rules around messing with stuff, like different hang-ups on like how much we could do. They didn't really want us to like, I guess, have too much autonomy in a way that you could mess something up. Like the idea of like, it was not a, ooh, if you burned a pan, that would be okay. It'd be like, no, and actually we're going to avoid that by you just not using that stuff, like kind of thing.
Yeah.
With some exceptions though, like my, because my mom would make us breakfast when we were much younger for like before school. But once you got to middle school, it's like breakfast was kind of like, you have it or you don't. That's kind of, it's kind of on you. And cereal was often available. So I don't think it was like as extreme as it could have been.
Yeah.
But it's like, hey, if you want breakfast before school at this point, it's going to be on you. You got to kind of put that together yourself. Maybe there'd be some exceptions, but that was basically the kind of setup for it.
I forget, you guys didn't have breakfast at school?
Not really. If you came like much earlier, you could get like, they gave you like, those peanut butter like packs.
Oh, really?
That are like, they would like throw you stuff like, an apple, a peanut butter pack of milk, but they're not making you food.
Oh.
Yeah. No.
No. I mean, I'm not gonna say jarring or anything, but like,
and that might have only been allowed for bussers. I don't know if that was allowed for anybody either. Yeah. You laughed at the fact that we call them bussers. The bus kids. Yeah.
You got slurs.
It was not a slur. It was the name of their community. Okay.
They used it within their. They took the power back.
The teachers. The teachers would call them bussers. They said, "Well, the bussers aren't going to be
people
here."
in power called it.
Yeah, it was kind of a name going around the society, as you will. So no, we didn't have like. It's not like we could just send. I also think my elementary school was trash. 2, I do think as much as there have been many fucked up things that have happened in the education system, especially with the current administration and things like that. Generally speaking, I think we're getting better at like being more cognizant of like supporting kids and like making sure they have everything that they need to be successful and like trying to like implement that stuff generally. So I also think like maybe breakfast is much more common these days.
Sure.
Even something like, we dropped your nephew off at summer camp and like they had like little food there. But again, it was kind of what he described was similar to what the breakfast would be. It'd be like, well, there's food, but it's not really a meal,
It's not a meal. Yeah. It's
so,
like, you can get a cereal, you can get a bar, you can get.
Yeah. So,
like,
we hooked him up with that little, what do they call them? Timbits?
Yeah.
We gave him a couple of Timbits for their first troubles, so he could eat a little bit more before camp. But, so I did get taught how to make, though, like eggs and chorizo. That was like the main thing that I knew how to cook, where it's like, there's an ingredient, there's fire. You're like undebatably cooking. Is it like a big meal? No, but like I could make that because I made that for breakfast a lot. And that was also one of the few things that my mom actually cooked because she wasn't like big on cooking. Like she prepared all our meals, but they weren't like cooked. We was very like encore microwave dinner. Throw it in the oven. It's frozen. Like we ate mostly frozen foods growing up. But, like there wasn't a lot of like I'm making chicken and there's like raw chicken and we're like prepping the chicken. Like not really. So for that reason, it's not like we also didn't like learn a lot to cook because it wasn't like let me teach you how I make my famous egg salad. It's like, let me teach you how to like defrost this. Like, it's not that hard to do, The teaching frozen meals is like immediate. It's very easy to like learn that because it's just follow instructions on the box, literally. But yeah, that was some of the first things I made. And I didn't start cooking for like my own livelihood in more of a big way until like college, I dabbled a little bit because we did have access to a kitchen in the suite I lived in, but it was a communal kitchen. Like there was a regular kitchen in the suite, but like if you really wanted to cook, I feel like that was more like the communal kitchen. But also like my college, like it was much more common to be on the meal plan. Like we all had like a meal plan. Like I had all 4 years I ate at the dining hall. Like
that's crazy.
And that was like very normal. And I don't even know if you could opt out of that fully, to be honest. I don't think you could fully opt out. Which I know is much different than we just went to RIT over the trip to Buffalo. And like y'all are like, oh, that's just like freshmen have that. And after that, you're like, you live in apartments. Like that's not how my college was like at all. And again, I can't remember if you needed the meal plan. If that was like literally, I think it kind of was though. And again, it wouldn't make sense to like, it wasn't that kind of town. So it would be a lot more work to be like cooking all your own meals. Like you'd have to really be passionate about doing that to make that your lifestyle in my college. So then post-college, I was much more involved because, you know, living with my family and kind of contributing to rent and things. That also meant kind of like contributing to some meals. And we kind of played around with like how we want to go about that. Is it, we're all adults. Is it everyone for themselves? Do we want to make meals and kind of share them? And it's like, you cook this day. And then, you know, so I did a lot of like teamwork cooking. I never lived that era of like, I'm by myself in a studio apartment and I make my own meals. That was a very short-lived time that I had. And even then I was like, I don't really love the kitchen in my apartment. And again, it wasn't a studio. I shared it with like a bunch of people. So I don't have a lot of like solo dolo cooking history. But that's kind of my background on how and then I guess how did I learn? It was a struggle. It was like really, really hard. I'm curious how you learned and like what that, because I feel like between the two of us, I think you're definitely the better cook. Holistically.
Yeah, I guess.
You know, we went on a cooking show. I'd be cooked and you'd be like making something and I'd be like, oh, what's Isaiah doing?
I think you it kind of going into how you learn. I learned more just from like watching and imitating, whereas I feel like you were much more of a recipe follower.
Yeah.
So like I couldn't tell you how I found out how to make wings or something. It's just like, oh, I just saw the people around me make wings and imitated them. And, you know, you learn what spices do and how this spice does this, gives this kick, and this spice, you know, adds this like kind of garlic flavor or whatever. And then you just like, you know, like music, you just learn to mix and match things to fit the palette that you want. Yeah, I never looked up recipes.
I don't even know. Have you ever followed a recipe?
Yeah, recipes you've given me, or like the ones like, you know, there's like the Oaxacan book.
Yeah,
there's like some things in
salsa,
there. Yeah, like I've followed recipes before. My thing is, what so many recipes I feel like are not actually like good recipes.
Yeah,
and the like well-made recipes. Not that the food isn't good, but like I feel like so many recipes are not just well-made to where you can follow them well.
Yeah,
that it's much easier for me to just see how someone does it and then tailor it to like my cooking flows and then just go from there.
For that reason, I kind of split the difference. I've adopted getting a recipe and then rewriting it in my own words. So like the recipes that I use, they are from like, you know, someone online. Like I use a lot of, there's this woman who does cooking stuff and her like website and handle on TikTok is There Is Food at Home. Mm-hmm. And all of her recipes are great. They are all kind of like chunky wonky recipes. They're very like the heavy cream's coming out a lot for those recipes, but they're all delicious. And I also am a fan of I think the guy's name is Momo Cooks. Mm-hmm. And he has a TikTok also and a website, and like I've made some of his, or maybe it's Moro. I'll have to try to find it while we're talking. I've used some of those recipes. I don't even know. I think of my current repertoire, none of them are from like a person, even like a person I know. They're all from like the internet right now. Yeah. And even like with what you're talking, like I have to write stuff down. Like I can't like you've shown me how to make the wings before, and like I don't know how to make them. And I have like, I guess I did write a recipe down. I'm looking at my notes now and I have one, but I have literally, I would say like very little confidence that I could make these. And that they would be like somewhat indistinguishable from yours. I think you would be able to tell. I think if we did the Pepsi challenge between our two wings.
No, it's not that crazy. It's
you have the touch, the gift.
I will say oftentimes I hate when, or not hate, but like it's always funny when like you read a recipe and it's like, oh, season the chicken with, you know, salt, pepper, paprika, cayenne, whatever, blah blah blah, and like it won't have amounts. But like, I'm okay with that. But I think there's been cases where you're like, yeah, but I don't know how much to put. Like, and maybe that's like an extreme example because just seasoned chicken is I think something that's totally just like you've internalized that enough.
I finally started to, but I don't like it's harder to do that than to follow instructions.
Yeah,
because even with like because you have that with like the chicken that we make where it's like because some of the recipes it's like the focus isn't necessarily like how seasoned the chicken is. Like the chicken's like a small part in a larger, like the pot pie, for instance. Like it kind of absorbs the flavors of the rest of the pot pie. But I still do season it, and I just use like a general seasoning. And now I've gotten more of an eye for like how much to put to like coat it. I did have one day where I definitely felt like I over seasoned it, and I was like, okay, that's too much.
Sure.
And then after that, I've kind of been able to be like, okay, like how to cut the difference. But
yeah.
Well, that's kind of one of my life problems though. Like I'm uptight and neurotic and like tense. I wouldn't even say I'm uptight because uptight kind of has like that negative implication of like I refuse to like be more free. And it's maybe it's a little bit that, but it's more like I'm not like relaxed. I'm not a good go with the flow person. Like I don't have flow. So it's like I play piano and it's like relax, loosen up. I'll be in the pool and it's like you gotta relax. And I'm like I'm locked in. I'm always locked in, and I'm like so locked in that it makes it hard to like, do what you're describing.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe it's just, and as I've seen you cook more and more, I do see you getting more comfortable, for lack of a better word, and like less uptight and less tense. Like I see you getting loosey-goosey with it, which is nice.
A big life hurdle I had with cooking, I think we might have talked about this on the show, maybe when we did our chores division episode or something. But a big hurdle I had was meat and not, worrying that I'm going to kill everybody. Yeah. That was like my life fear for the longest, because it's like, oh, you'll know when it's done. When do I know it's done? It looks done. How do I know it's done? I need times. I need so, and I still lean on that a lot for chicken and stuff like that, but
which I still want to get like a good, like an actual good meat thermometer for that reason, because I'm the same way. I always feel nervous. No facts. I always feel nervous like doing like anything more than like a pan fried thing. Like if something's going in the oven, I'm always nervous. Like, oh man, is the inside cooked? Is it well done? Is it too rare? Is it doing whatever, blah blah blah. So like I would want to get like a meat thermometer for that kind of stuff. Like, if I'm making a steak, I can eyeball a steak at this point. I can I know when chicken is done if I'm like grilling chicken or something like that. It's more oven baked things, especially because like I don't know, growing up, I feel like ovens have never been consistent. Maybe it's just because I'm always in, we our appliances are always white. You know what I mean? Like until a certain point, and it's like, all right, well, I don't know if this oven is like really holding this temperature that I set it to well or doing whatever. So like I've always been like nervous for that reason too. Now that we're doing a little bit better, I feel more comfortable about our oven, like in our apartment, that like, oh, if I set it to 400, it's gonna be 400. But I don't know, man. It's a habit. You gotta.
I think too. Sometimes the meat is so thick. Like I'm a big like the sacrificial cut. I'm like, I'll take the one that I sliced in half to make sure no one's dead, and then everyone else can have like whatever.
Well, I think to that, my solution for that is experimenting with other ways to cook. Like I have like the sous vide, like so you can do like immersion cooking and stuff, and I really like that because it's like, oh, I can't mess up.
You haven't sous vide in a while.
No, I should bring it back out. We should do like pork chops or steaks or something. Well, not steaks, but at least pork chops or some roasties or something. We'll find something. So I don't know. I think that's also like kind of a good alternative if you are like us and are always a little scared about, is the meat
killing
cooked?
Everybody, yeah. I kind of have gotten over that now because I feel like I have tools to know what's going on, where it's like, oh, you can just kind of follow the stuff. For as far as like modern era, what does your cooking look like? One thing I'm struggling with, we've talked about this just like outside the show, is I really need to like get some more recipes. I just do not have enough to, I feel like, sustain the life I want, because like, especially when like what I want, my dream is like, I could make a lot of different stuff, but it would be like, well, this isn't as good. Almost like the thing, it's funny, I talked about this on my stream like the other day. of like growing up, my dad's obsession was when we got the 2 liters of soda. He's like, we got to get a fun soda, like a Fanta. And it's like, no one wants a Fanta, like other than the people singing in the commercial. So I feel like I do have like in my notes, I have like 3, 6, like 9, 10, 11 things, which maybe isn't that much to begin with, to make. But of those things, the only stuff that like really resonates with both of us is like 3 of those things, and like one of them is like we've kind of taken away because of like how caloric it is. So it's like, okay, well, yeah, I want to try to come up with more repertoire. But where are you at with your recipes? Do you feel like you're kind of done finding stuff? Are you locked in on what you have?
I wouldn't say I'm done finding stuff. I think and this is probably just due to how I grew up, I gravitate towards more simple meals. And it's not to say like easy, but like a meat, a starch, a vegetable.
Yeah.
Good. I can eat that every day. Like I can do chicken and rice 5 days a week if I really like needed to, and just change what sauce I'm dipping it into or whatever. Right. I think that one thing I want to get more into which the only reason I kind of fell off of it was just like financials, is like, like incorporating like more different types of meats into our meals, right? Like so often we just do chicken because chicken's easy. It's pretty affordable. Definitely one of the more affordable meats you can buy at the store and everything like that. But like, it'd be cool to, and maybe ground beef we'll do every once in a while, right? Like we'll do cheeseburgers at home or a spaghetti and meatballs kind of thing or something like that. I want to get, more into like a pork chops. Let's do some sausages. Let's do some steaks. Let's do some, a roast. Let's do, things like that. Mix it with some different vegetables. Let's, bring back the asparagus, bring back the Brussels sprouts, bring back the corn on the cob, and, be able to like mix and match these things, homemade, mashed potatoes again and stuff like that. Like instead of just like rice, steamed veggie and chicken, which has been like, again, I'm fine with that from a like historical growing up sense. I can do that and I'm not going to complain that heavy.
I also ate like white rice every day, and I'm fine with that. Like I can eat that.
Yeah. I can do it. That doesn't mean I probably should or...
Yeah, I think it's a little more fun to mix things up. But like I used to just, that's all we ate. Like we would eat like, and again, maybe not everything was frozen. Like I'm guessing like looking back, I'm like some of that meat probably was like at least cooked on the stove, like real quick, like throw on the stove or whatever. But like but it was just like rice and meat, maybe canned corn or something. It's just rice and meat. Everything was rice and meat, which I also think there's more ways to do rice and meat that I want to like check out. Kind of like that's something I really liked about like the crispy chicken katsu that I would make. But like we kind of hit a wall there with there was like an ingredient for that was hard. Like we couldn't the curry roe. Also it's Moro Cooked is the website .com for that guy, which he has the recipe for the crispy chicken katsu, which is really good. But it's like, I guess it's tough too because there's some recipes that are just inherently more involved, especially like when you're newer to cooking them. Like making this, I remember the day I made this, I feel like I was in the kitchen the whole fucking day. I was in there for like, it's like the recipe's like, 30 minutes to make. I was there for like 90, like setting everything up or whatever. But
I think also one of the things that really hinders me, or the thing that I really hate, is getting an ingredient for one dish.
Yeah, same.
Like I can appreciate, or I can understand that people like you have an appreciation for like a very bespoke meal that's like this very unique flavor, and it comes from these ingredients, and you mix them together and you meld it and it comes out really good and everything like that. I don't get enough enjoyment out of meals like that to justify or warrant like me putting in the effort for that, both time, energy, and money into like a bespoke meal. So like I want to get ingredients that I can use in different meals and like mix and match them that way and get variety there. So like that curry paste thing that you needed, I mean, we can bring back the chicken katsu, but like, how much do we need that?
I think it lasts. I think it does last like a good amount. It's just that the store didn't sell it already made, so I had to make it from scratch. Not from scratch, but like I had to almost like how do I explain this? It'd be like if I needed tomato paste and you got me tomato sauce. You can make tomato paste with tomato sauce, but you do have to like cook it a bit. Yeah. And like this had a similar step. I forgot what the steps were. Another underutilized for us ingredient is the panko breadcrumbs, but to me, like I can find more ways to use panko breadcrumbs for sure. The curry row, admittedly, maybe not that many, but I don't know. There probably are. Again, it's curry. Like it's a pretty standard kind of thing to be using. But I do agree with you in one sense, which is that I remember when I first started to try to learn how to cook. This was like, post college. I'm like, I need to learn how to cook. I don't know how to cook. It's honestly kind of embarrassing. You can't be an adult who doesn't know how to cook. You have to learn. And one thing I struggled with was like finding recipes. I think honestly, like TikTok really just upped my cooking game because I found both these people have websites, but I found them through TikTok. And because like I feel like the thing is like because TikTok like it exists in more closely in the real world than like allrecipes.com does.
Sure.
Like because I feel like when you go to a place like allrecipes.com, they'll be like how to make I don't know, a pork roast, and then they're like 9 ingredients you've never owned. And especially if you're starting from scratch, like it's so tough. Like I think, and I know there's markets for this because there's cookbooks for this, like kind of, every angle, but it's like, we need a like starting from zero cooking thing where it's like, what can I make with like garlic powder, salt, pepper, paprika? Like you only need actually a couple core seasonings. But when I was first learning to cook, I would just grab these recipes, and the days that I would cook them, the grocery bill was like astronomical. I feel like there were times where I'd spend like $60 on the ingredients for one singular meal alone.
Yeah.
And then I make it and the meal sucks. And it's like, this sucks. It's like, I could just eat outside for this.
Yeah.
Which was, obviously more true many years ago and in Chicago where things are cheaper than in LA. But like, yeah. So it just becomes, and then I think that's, at least for me, and I'm sure people listening can relate to this, that's what kind of fueled the cycle of discouragement for me getting into cooking. And it wasn't until like living with you, finding like these TikTok recipes that things like really started to align. Because my beef with cookbooks too is too often the cookbook is too encompassing for a life that I don't live. They're like the friends book, breakfast, dinner, drinks, things to entertain friends with. I'm not entertaining people.
Yeah.
I just need to live. I need a book that's like just the dinner. I just need dinner. I don't need lunch. Like, and again, we talked about, maybe you want to spice up lunch too, now that you're eating your lunches like so consistently at work and they're pre-made and stuff. But generally, I don't need breakfast. Generally, I don't need lunch. I just need dinner. I don't need how to make my own bread. Like, I need dinner. I need a quick, tasty, rich dinner, and that's it. But yeah, things have definitely gotten better on that end. What would you say are your what are your core meals that you make? What are the Isaiah hits? I know what they are, obviously, but because I eat them.
If I was to ask you, you would say wings is up there for sure. I think you. I'll do like a lot of pastas.
Yeah.
Either like veggie fried pastas or spaghetti and meatballs, chicken Alfredo, things like that. All very easy, very quick, very cheap. But tasty enough, right? The taste per dollar per effort input is pretty good. And then I think burgers is also like another one I'll enjoy doing.
And that's another one where like it's very simple to make. When the day I made burgers was the last day I feel like I'm making burgers in this house because they did not taste good. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I did everything I feel like you do.
Yeah.
They didn't taste good.
Yeah.
I don't know why. So I'll have to work that out. Like an example of where you're like, oh yeah, you just cook it. There's no recipe. I fail under those conditions. I drown. They said instructions unclear. Yeah. Food plain.
Yeah. So, oh, and then the burritos. I enjoy the burritos. I
love those burritos.
Those are pretty good.
Your buffalo chicken salad is also a
buffalo chicken salad is pretty good. That's more of a prepared thing. Like I don't have to cook that.
Hey, you're doing something that I'm not doing because I just sit there and then there's a salad in front of me.
I guess fair enough.
But yes, I get what you mean. It's not as involved.
Yeah. And then sides. I enjoy doing like the roasted Brussels sprouts. The homemade mashed potatoes, those are always fun. Pretty tasty corn. I like actually the like seasoned canned corn more than the corn on the cob. Just easier to make. Not that like corn on the cob is not so hard to make. You just put them in water and boil them, kind of thing. Season them a little bit afterwards. But yeah, no, I think the again, but for me, the output is better than. And
I know people are gonna clown me for this. I do not care. Like when I make corn, I Google how long to boil corn. Like I dead ass. And then I scroll past the AI overview and I look for a place that seems reputable. And then I scroll past their life story and they say something like, I don't know, 13 minutes or something like that. And I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I do not know how to make, I don't know how long to boil it for. Like, when do I know it's done? You'll say when it's done. And I say that doesn't mean anything to me.
Yeah. Funnily enough, I could not tell you how long to boil corn on the cob for, but I know when it's done. Like I don't know when it's done. And that's when I go by.
The only thing that I can boil where I know when it's done is I would say my noodles, but even that, like the little ramen kind of stovetop. Mine's not ramen, but it's basically the same thing. Yeah. But even that, fun fact, I still set a timer. I don't just like let it, because if I leave it there, sometimes I'll forget about it and stuff. So I still put a timer.
Yeah, I think it's more of a functional timer than like I need it to cook it.
I would say so too, but
gun to your head, you could just
yeah.
Watch
yeah. Like I could cook it and eat it and it'd be fine. Gun to my head, I'm eating it anyway. I don't care if it's not cooked. Yeah. My hits, of course. What am I gonna say, Isaiah?
Pot pie.
The creamy chicken pot pie. It's so good.
Pie. I enjoy the mac and cheese.
Yep.
It is a different kind of like it's not black mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Right. But it's still a good meat infused broccoli cheese mac and cheese.
I really want to learn how to make black mac and cheese.
I want to learn how to make black mac and cheese. I tried it before.
Hey, I didn't assume that you knew how to make it. Just to be clear.
I tried it. It didn't work out. So I'm right there with you.
Yeah, the mac and cheese kind of got discontinued from the apartment because I think you said it's too chunky.
Yes. This is very calorically dense.
It's very calorically dense.
And like
I might just start making it for me, but also it'd be putting me asleep sometimes because it is like, and I love mac and cheese is one of my favorite foods.
Yeah.
But sadly, mac and cheese is very much the platformer of video games, seen as juvenile and also not that done well very often.
Yeah.
Because like so much mac and cheese is like mid as fuck. Like this one's actually good though. Yeah. We got my chicken adobo.
Chicken adobo.
And I say honestly, that's the current holy trinity. I can make other things, but they're just like not as beloved, so I just don't make them. Like my garlic parmesan wings. It's like,
oh yeah, I like those. Yeah. But I think if anyone's making wings, you'd just rather I make.
Yeah.
wings.
Oh, definitely. They're way better.
Like, all right,
I also like. We also just have different tastes in foods. Like I really like I like my buffalo cauliflower wings, but you're
fine.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You're not into I like those. Like if I lived by myself, I would actively make those like at some time because I wouldn't know how to make yours because you died in the scenario or something. Other things I like that you're just like not that big a fan of. Lasagna.
Yeah.
Admittedly, like lasagna, it's like possible more work. So I'm not like that mad at the lasagna being gone because it's not a lot of work, but it's a little tedious. It's like we also don't have a pot big enough for me to boil the noodles all at one time, so I have to boil them like piece by piece.
Yeah.
It's like a little bit of a pain in the ass.
I also am one of those people who I don't like quote extravagant ingredients where it's like
the pasta, the lasagna noodle is too extravagant.
No,
okay.
the lasagna cheeses, like when you gotta mix in
the ricotta
cheese and this.
Yeah,
cheese
you're
and
anti cheese.
Nah, man, just give me
like,
basic.
American.
Give me cheddar. Give me American. And that's it. Like I don't need much. If you really give me a pepper jack, if you want to go fancy.
But yeah, I'm in the pocket of big cheese, and you're anti big cheese. I'm
anti big cheese.
Like I love cheese.
I don't even like cheese as a food that much.
No, see, I love cheese.
Yeah,
I love cheese. I'm a rat.
I've lived my whole life around people like you who just love cheese and different kinds of cheeses, raw cheeses, cheese with crackers. Cheese on a stick, do whatever.
Cheese,
you got stinky cheeses,
cheese
all
balls,
that. Cheese ball. Yeah, you crack open this like little wheel of cheese and just eat it. Like I can't do that, but I've been around you my whole life. I just don't agree. And I don't get it. But I've come to accept it.
It's a wild take. Another like cool, but just didn't make the cut. Vodka pasta. I like.
Yeah.
I think you just don't like the.
I just don't like the sauce.
The sauce.
For it,
yeah. Yeah, and that's basically that's where I'm at. Oh, another thing I make that does make the cut, but it's just kind of like not. We don't talk about that much. Juicy Chicken 101.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to this random white woman on TikTok who her name's Sammy Purr. Purr is Pur. And yeah, it's just a great chicken for like if we really have no thoughts. Juicy chicken, rice, and a veggie. Yeah. Easy dub, and it's delicious. I originally learned to make it like to put it in a sandwich, but you can just eat it on its own. Yeah, I definitely want to expand things. Another thing that I make that I really like, but you don't like, bibimbap.
Oh yeah, no.
Or bibimbap. I always say it like wrong. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, something I make that you do like. I should move it to dinner because we've had it for dinner before. It's like a salad. I call it my hearty go-to salad.
Oh yeah. It's like got chickpeas. And little popcorn.
It's another like
kind of
technically
thing,
you're preparing, not like cooking. It's like just lentil beans, like I think also we like get around the cooking of the salads by always using like just frozen chicken reheated and just put it in there. Yeah. So
we buy our way out of usually the salad chicken.
Ooh, something you make that like it shouldn't really be dinner, but we treat it as dinner sometimes. You make a buffalo chicken dip.
Oh yeah. It's more of like a side. It falls like in kind of with the mac and cheese.
It's a side that we eat for dinner.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
That thing is good. Obviously, to round things out, you're famous for your breakfast sandwich. And by famous, I mean me and
I do
like
breakfast.
It.
I do. I that's honestly probably the most of the cooking that is like arguably exclusively me. Like you cook yourself breakfast.
Yeah.
You're very rarely cooking us breakfast.
No one wants that breakfast.
Yeah.
It's like,
I
also think breakfast is a weak spot. Not that
see, you're crazy. I love breakfast.
No, it's not like it's a weak meal. It's just like kind of a weak spot in my game.
Oh,
like I
okay.
basically just like, I just never made that many like different types of breakfasts like growing up. Like something I really realized like, oh snap. Like, and this is the difference between like being able to make something like, oh, you did the assignment and you did it well. Your scrambled eggs. I don't actually know how to like make scrambled eggs where they don't taste like dry and boring as fuck. And you make them and they're like seasoned and they're tasty. Every now and then you make them too goopy, but other than that, like they're good. And I'm like, I'm looking over like, what the fuck's he putting in these eggs? Because I'm like, we like when you learn and you're self-taught, it's like kind of just whatever you come across. So it's like, well, to scramble it, you just kind of put them together, and it's like if you read like a mid recipe and that's how you know how to make it, it's like, well, now you're just whack. You're like baked in whack. So. Yeah, but your breakfast sandwich is good. I make my own variant on the breakfast sandwich. But you just don't like my variant as much. It uses like chili oil.
Yeah.
I think, is that
actually, I don't even
too
know,
fancy of an ingredient for you?
I don't know if I've ever had your breakfast sandwich.
You have.
I couldn't remember it then.
Damn,
so I don't know. Maybe I like it. No, I just mean like it was so long ago that I just don't.
That's why. No, you liked it fine, but it's just not as likable as your sandwich. And I don't think it's as good as your sandwich. I'll be honest, even though I'm the one making it. Yeah, you're big on making pancakes as well.
Yeah, like pancakes, bacon, sausage.
Yeah.
Do oatmeals, and I want to get back into like creamer wheats and stuff like that, like other breakfast cereals kind of thing.
I want to make more chorizo again. I haven't liked the brands of chorizo that I've gotten out here in LA. It's one of the only gripes I have about LA. I'm like, I feel like it's like too oily. I don't know why it's so like oily, but
maybe you got to go to like a Verita or something. And
I feel like I've gone there too, but either way, I'll probably bring that in. But those are our meals. But yeah, I want to come up with more, find more, and I want to like revisit lunch. Like there was an era where we were doing like bespoke lunches.
So you know what's funny? I think my lunch is like your breakfast, where it's like, this is just a chore. I'm fine eating a sandwich, a TV dinner, just microwaving some chicken tenders or something, a frozen burrito for lunch, whatever, fine, cool. Whereas like for you, breakfast is like, give me a bagel, give me a yogurt, give me a frozen waffle, kind of like to me it's like very, you can phone it in kind of thing.
And I do, and I have. Well, but I know like earlier before we started recording, you mentioned that you're getting kind of tired of your one sandwich that you eat for lunch. So that's why I think it's worth revisiting what we got going on for lunches. But yeah, anything that you want to achieve as Chef Zaya, are you kind of have you peaked already and you're like, hey man, if this kid doesn't like hot wings, we're down like 8 meals. Obviously that's a different story, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. No, not really. I think the biggest thing, like I said, is maybe just like incorporating just more veggies into my meals.
Yeah.
It's very easy to forego veggies, forego the greens, just make it like a meat and rice kind of thing is very easy. So being more on it with incorporating a corn, a leafy vegetable or something. That's sort of my next step.
I still want to revisit the thing that I know you preemptively have given up, but I'm not going to give up. Us making a good salsa. Yeah, we only tried to make one salsa. There's more.
Yeah, we did.
I realized the error of our ways, the random cookbook. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like the cookbook, it should be good because it's a Oaxacan cookbook. But I don't know, it did not, we followed the instructions to a T, it did not work. We even tried adding like extra like spice to it didn't work. I'm open to TikTok. and I'm gonna learn from someone who doesn't speak English.
Hey,
that's the hack. I'm like, I can't have anybody who, if you can read this BlueSKy post, I don't want to hear your salsa recipe. I need to go to the source. I need to go to someone's grandma, where she ain't even posting the TikTok. It's like posted from like a nephew or something who's like, "Oh, grandma, how do you make the salsa?" That's where we need to go. That's how we're gonna have a fighting chance.
All right, yeah, just make sure it's not like a chunky salsa. Make sure it's like
like fattening.
No, like
chunky, like literally like thick or whatever.
like a chunked chopped pieces into the salt. Like I want a fine salsa.
Yeah, I think that should be fine. That should be fine. We should figure something out with that. But yeah, that's us in our. I guess the last thing I want to touch on is the division of cooking. Basically, you just rock the cookie. You're the main. You're lead chef.
I think most of the time, yeah.
Yeah, which I totally appreciate because one, the food is actually, I wouldn't say the food is better because I do think the things I can cook well. I think you have a bigger range than I do. But like cooking's a pain in the ass.
I enjoy cooking, yeah. So it works out.
That's great. Yeah, it's funny. We've tried so many configurations. We've tried dividing up meal types. We've tried dividing up meal types, but also mixing the days. We also did lead chef, sous chef, which I do enjoy. I do think we should do that as like a at-home date night. Like I think that's fun. Like that night we made the homemade pizzas. Was really fun.
Yeah. Which I want to do that.
And
again.
The food was really good too. So like that was cool. Like, but now we've settled on. You're basically like the cook, with the exception of now that you work in the office sometimes. I've tried to pick up some of those days so that like you don't have to come home and cook, which I know is like a lot of people's lived realities. Like you come home from work and then you have to cook, but like we all agree that's like not that pleasant that I have to do, right? So flipping that has been interesting. But yeah, and I'll try to find you a lunch that isn't just that one sandwich that you make that you've eaten for the last 3 weeks.
One thing I want to try to do more is actually get into like baked goods.
That'd be really fun.
I think to tie it back to Donkey Kong Bananza, I think like finding a good banana bread would be actually, or like monkey bread.
Banana
would be really good.
bread.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
I have a dream of making my own cheesecake.
Oh,
because that's one of my favorite desserts, cheesecake.
Yeah.
And that'd be really fun. But baking is definitely
it's another level.
It's like wild stuff over there. But yeah, I do want to I guess like. And I keep saying the last thing, but I do want to like have some more fun with cooking. Like there are things that I'm trying to think of what stuff I want. There's like things I want to make that you don't need at all. And by that I mean like there was like from that Moro cooked guy or whatever. He has like his version of the Starbucks lemon loaf, like his version of different, just like for fun foods and drinks and stuff. I think he has a lemon loaf on there. He definitely has like some stuff like that where it's like you don't need to know how to make it. Or something I kind of miss. I used to make smoothies sometimes. I have like a smoothie book. But like I think that goes on with the like time, but also the luxury of the money because it's like getting the fruit for those smoothies. Yeah. It's like, have you bought a container of blueberries lately? It's like $18 or something. Yeah. But yeah, I do. I have enjoyed those times. And I've liked those drinks and stuff. That could be fun. Yeah, maybe making some cocktails. That could be also a cool thing. I don't think it goes bad. I still have like a good amount of like little liquors and liqueurs in the cabinet and stuff that could be fun. So, yeah. Well, if we ever get into our baking era, you'll be the first to know.
I'll be learning. Yeah.
All right. That brings us to poll of the show. And then you put the lightning effects on the screen, Isaiah.
Did you have the budget for that?
Last episode, I didn't say they had to be good lightning effects. Last episode, we asked about anime and deck builders, and here are the results. Actually, so I don't know how to read this first one, Isaiah. There was a
So it's a scale of 1 to 10.
Okay.
We asked folks, are you a fan of the deck builder roguelikes? So Spire, Monster Train, Wild Frost, etc. Most people are on the favorable side, right?
Yeah, some form of fan.
Yeah. You know, we had a couple 9s, a couple 7s. We also had a couple 2s, so fairly low on the scale.
That was me.
But most of the folks tend to skew higher. So my people. Our people now.
It chills when that one's fine.
We're listening to
a
our
ghost
show.
just passed through me and I felt really cold. We also had, if you were to attend an anime convention, would you wear cosplay? Most people said no, probably not.
Yeah,
no one was for sure. We had someone say, I want to, but I would be subconscious about the quality of my costume. And someone was like, man, if it looked good enough, I would rock this.
It's funny. So it's basically like a good like 4/5 of people, 80% are like no. And the remaining 20% are like, if it would be lit, yeah, I would.
Yeah. And then we had, if yes, who would you dress as? And we have Howl from Howl's Moving Castle. And then Isaiah, this next one you're going to have to read because literally when I read it, I swear to God, I thought someone was just trolling.
I want you to read it now. Okay. and I'll say it afterwards.
Okay. I literally copied it and Googled this because I said, ain't no way this is real. This is someone just being like.
Read the whole thing.
Yeah, I will. But like, you know, when like I say like Mr. Flim Flam, it's like, Bobobo. From Bobobo.
It's, I mean, technically you are correct.
Oh, my other guess, let me try another chance. Okay. Bababo from Bababo Boo Boo Boo.
Nope, the other one was better. It's all bows.
Okay, read this
Bobobo from Bobobo Bo Bobobo. It is. It's a bunch of bows.
It's really hard not to make fun of y'all when you guys pull up to the function with bo bo bo.
Fair. I haven't watched Bobo, so I can't comment on that. But Howl from Howl's Moving Castle would be pretty cool.
Yeah, the Bobo. I had to like. I was hitting Google immediately. I said, "Who is this? Whose man is this?" Thank you for writing in though. That is. I learned something today. I said.
Yeah.
Pokimane? What's going on here? Okay. And then if you were down to read the responses of the just because it has some more anime names that I can't pronounce.
We had some write-ins for folks like, oh, like if why not? Is there something that could convince you to try doing cosplay? Somebody said just being a perfectionist about the costume and then not having anything else to do with it, no space to store it.
Yeah,
it's kind of a bit, honestly fair. Like.
So I got rid of my Splatoon cosplay.
Yeah.
That roller was taking up a lot of space in our apartment.
It is really hard to store some of these like bigger, kind of more intricate costumes. I don't have the confidence to. As a kid, back in 2002, I dressed up as Asukra from Shaman King. Oh, okay, cool. From Shaman King. Okay, all right. I heard of Shaman King. I think I even like might have watched like an episode or two.
I heard of
Yeah. Can't be bothered to create the costume. Fair, honestly. I have no problem wearing it, but I don't want to go through the effort to crafting it. So honestly, I get that. As again, also someone who helped me with the Splatoon thing, it's like, yeah, it can be a little bit more involved. And that was like a very simple costume that we did.
It was really just that one prop because the rest were just clothes, which I already owned.
If someone were to put in a lot of work for me on a joint costume, I'd do it, which fair. I'm getting a lot of the similar like seems cool.
A lot of work, yeah.
Don't have that. Yeah, it's out of my wheelhouse. Too much work, or like can't logistically get it done. Maybe I'd wear a jacket that was a nod to a show or a game, like maybe a school uniform jacket or from one of the Persona games or something like that. Basically, doesn't want to be like uncomfortable in like a full cosplay.
I like the people that walk around at Anime Expo fully kitted out. That's a lot of work. I do feel like I'd be like uncomfortable after a while.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Cool. And then I can read this next part. We have optional anything you'd want to share. This one was really funny to me. You always say rate the podcast 5 stars, but in Spanish you say to rate it 5 diamonds.
Yeah.
Not sure if you meant to do that. It is intentional. So this is a joke about Ocean's 13. Is it 13?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ocean's 13 because Al Pacino's character Willie Banks? Yeah, Willie Banks. Whatever, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The main evil guy, he wants to win the 5 Diamond Award, and he's like, all my hotel, 5 diamonds. The 5 diamonds. This hotel, 5 diamantes. And just something about that has stuck with me throughout time. Ocean series is like one of my favorite movie series of all time. I think, in a way, Oceans is my favorite movie ever. I usually do put Goodfellas in that slot, which is definitely like the artsier choice. But Oceans is like, I'm not shying away from the Ocean's love. Like, I love Oceans. And we've rewatched that movie a lot. I definitely have rewatched it a lot. And because Isaiah has been with me, he has thus rewatched a lot. And also been like, I mean, you watched them before me, though, right?
No.
Wow. I got to introduce you to Oceans?
Yeah. You introduced me to
my
Oceans.
God. I don't even think I knew I was doing that when I did it. Holy shit. Maybe I probably did because I'm sure we talked about, oh, you haven't seen them? Like, I'm sure we had that conversation. But no, I had no idea.
It's one of those things like, have I been flipping through the channels and caught 5 minutes of it? Or like been in a hotel or something? Yeah.
That's like showing someone Rush Hour 1. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why we say Cinco Diamantes.
Yeah. So thank you for calling it out, though. But
yeah, I'm glad that like
unfortunately intentional.
I think we can explain the lore. It's just something like, I don't know. One day I didn't do that from episode 1, but at one point we recently watched it, and like I always think about it, and then we just started like, we just say Cinco Diamantes after the 5 stars, Cinco Diamantes. But yeah, it'd be Cinco Estrellas if it would be stars, I believe. And then, have you been bit by the Magic the Gathering bug? I played the Final Fantasy deck with a friend, and I can't stop thinking about playing more. That Final Fantasy deck is really working through the video game community. People are falling for Magic left and right.
Maybe that's how we get you into trying Magic. We have the deck, right?
We do have the deck, yeah. But again, it's all Gloomhaven.
Yeah,
Gloomhaven's stopping my whole life. I can't move on.
You can do that on the top.
I don't want to do it on the top. I had a dream. The dream I had last night, actually, that I was telling you about, where I don't know if you remember what I talked about, but I mentioned that I dreamed that Bruce went into my crock and then started jumping around like Mario in the boot. Bruce is our cat, by the way.
Yes.
In that dream, this happened in our living room, like that scene from the dream, and there was a puzzle laid out on the table. And I said, oh my God, you got to record this, Isaiah. It's so funny. And you were recording it. And I remember thinking, now people are going to see that we do puzzles on top of the tabletop or like fucking plebes. No, if I wanted to play on top, I would have not gotten why do I have the board game table if I'm playing on top of it?
Fair. All right. Fair enough.
I don't want to be on.
Fair enough.
You want to be on top? That was the American Next Top Models theme song.
Yeah. All right.
Anyway. And then lastly, we got UGLY, Slay the Spire ain't got no alibi. It's ugly. Hey, it's ugly. It is ugly. But I will say, when you look at that Monster Train art, Slay the Spire is starting to look refined. Because Monster Train got the ugliest art.
I think you're crazy. I think the Monster Train art is. Well, I'm looking at Monster Train 2. Let me. Yeah, if I look at Monster Train 1,
I think I was looking. I might have been looking at 2. I think I just looked at Monster Train hit images and I said, that's ugly.
I like the art for Monster Train. It's different. It's literally like a higher fidelity.
But it's high fidelity ugly. Like it's high fidelity ugly though. It's like, you know how like when someone's really trying but they don't have like the budget to like have it be good, it's like no, but it looks really real. It looks Uncanny Valley real. It's like
no.
It looks fake.
We'll see. Once you start playing it, maybe you got to just see it in action, in motion.
I don't know. It made me appreciate though the Slay the Spire art because I said, "Oh my God!" Like you thought you saw ugly art, and then you looked at Monster Train, and yeah, maybe it does look better. I will say the cards. I don't have a problem with how the cards look, but the background where I guess they're fighting, it looks like super ugly. Like it, I don't know how to explain it. It's like trying too hard to be realistic, and it loses style in that. I don't know. I don't like it.
I think you gotta just see it when you're playing it. You'll come around. I think so.
We'll see, but I appreciate that other people were like, it is ugly. Yeah, I enjoy being validated in that way. For this week, what kind of things would we be asking?
Probably
about
Bananza,
and cooking
then
stuff.
Cooking, yeah. So get in the poll. Let us know your thoughts on those topics.
Yeah, and as always, it's at gamesandnotgames.com/poll, and it'll also be linked in the show notes. All right, y'all, that is it for this week. You can send us your questions and topics to email inbox@gamesandnotgames.com. Of course, you can also just on the poll form, there's like a blank space for like whatever you want to write. That could be an easy spot. Knock them all out there. You can follow the podcast version of the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pocket Casts, and everywhere. Sorry, now I'm thinking of the thing, the 5 diamonds or whatever. You get your podcast. If you enjoy the show, be sure to give it that 5-star rating.
5 stars. Cinco Diamantes. And if you're an audio listener, remember that you can get the video version over on YouTube at Games and Not Games. If you like the video, be sure to leave a like and a comment as it helps us get the show in front of more people. You can follow us on social media. We're pretty much everywhere at Games and Not Games, so mainly BlueSKy and Twitch. And until next time, gang.
Gang.
Peace.